Is nuts and bolts, because that's how life works. That's how you make good people. You drill them, you make them practice. Make them practice whether they're going to get better in piano or in tennis or in ethics. Moshe is not like Coach Taylor in the TV show Friday Night Lights. He doesn't tell his team, clear eyes, full hearts. Judaism trusts neither the eye nor the heart.
You know what Ben Stein said?
No.
Clear eyes, it works. Never mind. I don't know Friday Night Lights. So
you never watched Friday Night Lights?
No, I couldn't.
Love that show.
Never saw it. Don't know anything about it.
Deuteronomy chapter.
But you're talking a lot about the New Testament and Christianity this week. What's up with that?
Just what came to my mind.
Okay, I don't know. See, when it comes to these kind of conversations, I'm like in the dark. I'm like behind those sunglasses because I really don't know Christianity. I only know like from 30,000 feet above, like basically, you know. But I don't know the ins and I don't know the nuts and bolts of their religion.
So Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 4 says that you should cling to God. Now it's not possible to literally cling to God, but you can cling to Torah scholars and you can support them. You can like send in donations.
Yes, very important. You can cling to us.
You can cling to us. You can send us
cannot cling to Torah, right?
Right.
But you can cling to Torah talks.
Exactly.
You know, and there's ways to do it. You reach in and pull out money from your account and you put it in our PayPals. Exactly. You know, you send us money orders, and this is how you fulfill that mitzvah.
Exactly. So this week's Torah portion forbids marrying non-Jews.
Well, unless you're a non-Jew.
Yeah. So shiksas are not for practice. So such bestial behavior just leaves you feeling empty inside.
I'm sure that every shiksa watching this will just be so happy to hear you call them bestial behavior to be with them.
Yeah.
You just compared them to animals. Well, only an animal would want to be with a shiksa.
For a Jew to stoop to forbidden sexual relations with a non-Jew, it's bestial. It just makes me sick. It's just
okay, but it's
with horror and contempt.
Bestiality is bestial.
And a Jew cavorting, you know, with a shiksa.
It's still not as bad as bestiality.
It's not bestiality
because
it's
not one of the four.
Like a beast.
There are four forms of sex, if you will, right? There's four sexual things that are strictly for like the worst, right? Mm-hmm. What are the four?
Animals.
Bestiality. Good.
Homosexuality.
Homosexual.
Adultery. Incest.
Incest, right.
But you got to admit that, like, for instance, like the doggy position, where you're taking a woman from behind, that's particularly animalistic. Like she's like on all fours in front of you, and you've got your hands on her hips, and you're just pumping her,
and her breasts are like flapping,
and you're going like this, and you're going like this. And
do you put on the cowboy hat for that?
Only on special occasions.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
But if that's your wife, if that's the
that's fine. Yeah,
so that's obviously not bestial. It doesn't make it bestial.
It's important, folks, that you don't make light of your sex life. Like, I had this girlfriend, and I was pumping her. As I was pumping her, I was doing this. Like, you know, guys in the movies, it's like... You know,
yeah, I wouldn't call those movies. I would call those skin flicks.
It's like... And I was waving my hat around. She'd, like, start laughing and laughing. And, like, we both thought it was really entertaining, but that kind of marked, like, very dramatic decline in our sex life. Like once you start like making your erotic attraction something, you know, your sex life a thing of humor, it kind of destroys it.
I don't know about that. I have read that like in these, you know, articles that you see online from these so-called experts that humor has its place in the bedroom.
Yeah, but don't make fun of your sex life. Like it had a really deleterious effect on mine. So. You know,
okay.
Let me know how it worked for you, but
well, but I just read that like it's okay to make your partner laugh in bed and stuff like that.
It's like you can tell a lot about someone's religiosity by what they'll laugh at. Like if someone finds adultery funny, probably not so religious. Like it was only when adultery became funny that was like a sign, you know, that Western civilization had shifted its mores. Like if like eating on Yom Kippur is funny, or if like banging shiksas is funny, you know, like taking them from behind is funny. Like then you know that the person's not so religious if he finds that amusing.
What? What? Huh?
Well, you can tell, like the more religious the Jew, generally speaking, the less funny they are.
What?
Like, you're an exception, but generally speaking.
What?
Because when you make fun of something,
I can't anymore. My head's about to explode. The Gemara says, in I believe it's in Pesachim Daf Kuf Yud Zayin Amud Aleph.
That's a good one.
Pesachim 117a. I believe that's where it says Rava Makama de Pesach Leir de Banam Lehu Milsa de Bechusa. That when Rava, who was a great one of the Amoraim, who was one of the great sages, when he used to open a discourse, he used to give a shir, a class, he would always open with a joke.
Yeah, but I'm sure it wasn't a joke about adultery, or I'm sure it wasn't a joke like making, about eating on Yom Kippur. I'm sure it wasn't a joke about watching TV on Shabbos. I'm sure it wasn't a joke about a man being with his wife while she was, on her period. I'm sure it wasn't a joke about eating non-kosher food. Like, when you start making fun of things, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, that indicates that you're not so religious in those areas, and it says something about the norms of the community that these things aren't so bad. Like, you should just react with horror, to adultery or homosexuality or incest, like these type of practices. But when you start making jokes, it's like it's saying, it's not such a big deal if a brother gets it on with his sister. But it is a big deal. You should react with horror. It's not a laughing matter.
I disagree with you. I'll tell you why. Rashi says, and I think the Rambam also brings this down somewhere, but I know for a fact that Rashi says that the attitude of a Jew should be one of, it's not that I hate these averas, these things that you're not allowed to do. It's not that I hate the things that are transgressions, as I want to do them, but I'm not allowed to do them. It's like I can say, that looks really delicious. Like that pork looks really...
for many of them, not all of them, you shouldn't want to bang your sister or your mother.
It says by the it's brought down by the incest of brother and sister that the relationship they have is called one of love or something. Like it's so great. Like everybody wants to do it because it's such the ultimate love is to love your brother, to love your sister.
Do you think that we ideally should want to have sex with family members? Should we want that and just desist from it because the Torah says so? Is that the idea?
Let me say this. Let me say the following, okay? The following is, every single time that there's a prohibition in Torah that you're not allowed to do something, that means God will naturally give a person a Yetzer Hara, an evil inclination, to do it, right? Yeah. So that means you're going to be naturally wanting to do. Now, some people have more of
at different times, like different times.
Like I may have a bigger drive, let's say, to steal than you, but you may have a bigger drive than me to murder. Like I may not have a single bone in me that wants to murder anybody, but you want to have a whole list of people that you want to axe to death, right? But then I want to steal everything that you own, but you don't have. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody's on a sliding scale on this, right? If there isn't a transgression, it doesn't matter what it is. If it says don't bang your mother, that means He has given all of us, at least to some degree, a desire to bang our moms.
That's why I like granny porn, I said there.
Well, I can you talked about incest. Okay, the question was incest. I know that for a fact that there's a lot of incest porn. Yeah. There's sister-brother kind, where he takes her, right?
Yeah.
There's
Tom Byron did some.
I don't know who that is. I know I did some.
Then mother-son.
Mother-son.
Tom Byron, I think, he did some of that.
There's mother-son ones, which are kind of wild. Yeah. And then there's a lot of father-daughter ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of father-daughter ones, right? Yeah. And some of those are hot.
I guess, for a certain type of twisted personality. But like on a 1 to 10...
Why does that have to be twisted? Why can't that just be called normal? See, this is the thing. You're making it called taboo. You're making it taboo by you've made a judgment and you've put down
those who want to have sex with family members.
Those who naturally have that desire that they think it's really hot or sexy to want to, let's say,
have sex with a family member,
or want to watch, a daughter do it with a father. Like that turns them on, it excites them. or the son with the mother, whatever it is, right? And that's their thing, and in my mind, that's normal. That's how God created us, right? You've like